Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome to a brand new episode of Train Sim World. Today we're going to be on the Oakville subdivision for the first time in a while, and we are going to be doing a timetable scenario, the L791 41-05 Burlington to Oakville, and we are operating the first outbound portion of a local as it heads for Toronto. We're going to hop in here, and we're actually going to be kind of talking about Train Sim World 2, which is coming out soon. I believe it's in August sometime. I think it's like August 15th or something like that. But we're going to kind of get into the details about it and how different it is between this one and that one. So let's go ahead and hop in the scenario and check it out. Alright, so here we are. We're inside the cab of our GP9RM locomotive. So you guys can see it looks super nice. Everything is turned on for us. And we are GP9 number 4117. So let's go ahead and turn on the headlights. Go ahead and put them on bright. Insert that reverser handle. Set it to forward. And we're heading towards Appleby. So let's go ahead and set the brake to release. Do the bell. And we should be getting on and going here shortly. Forgot to turn the generator field on, I guess. We should be able to get out of here shortly. Got our train link. Got everything we need. Lead sand. Headlights are on. Don't need any class lights. Well, technically, we will have the white class lights on since we are not a scheduled service actually. All right, here we go. So we're gonna head to Appleby. Head on down there. Crew alert alarm defect. We don't have anything to do with. We don't need a heater because it is during the summer. So we'll go and do that. And looks like we've got 4 tank cars that were taken. I think it's 4. 5 tank cars. So we've got 5 tank cars that we're going to take up to Appleby there. And I feel like that's the only place we're actually going. So we go through Appleby, through Bronte, and we stop at the Oakville Yard. Makes sense. Makes sense. So it looks like we're on a clear. As far as I can see, we are on a clear. So there we go. That is good. That is good. That is good. But yeah, Train Sim. Actually, before we even get into that, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I really do. But yeah, Train Sim World 2. We got some cab lights in here or something we can turn on. Maybe not. But yeah, so Train Sim World 2 is actually going to be somewhat of an upgrade from regular Train Sim World. And that is because of a couple different features that it actually has. So in this one, we don't have any like livery creators. We don't have any scenario creators. So it's just kind of like whatever scenarios that Dovetail gives us is what we have. Except if you go on the Train Sim corner, there is a mod for a scenario for the sand patch, I believe. So I'm not sure how he ended up doing that and creating a scenario, or how the person did it, but magically he did it. So we might take a look at that as well once Train Sim World 2 comes out and kind of get like the mod thing, but let's keep that at 7.9. BR pipe airflow is what we wanted at, so it's expected at. So yeah, but in Train Sim World 2, everything is pretty much different. Going from the dynamics and physics and everything like that. The simulgraph is what they actually use for their physics and dynamics and stuff. It has basically evolved. So supposedly Train Sim World at the time was marketed to have realistic physics in the game. Supposedly this one will have more realistic physics. So it'll have dynamic skies, so which means your weather, your clouds, and all that will look much more realistic, which to me sounds pretty freaking awesome. It will also have 4K support, which this game does not have either. But it will have 4K support, so if you have like 4K monitors, you will actually be able to watch your game and stuff in 4K. which is cool. They're also using Unreal Engine 4 for the game. That is what they base their game off of, the platform, which is awesome. But going back to the scenario creator, there is actually going to be a scenario creator in the game. So I'm not 100% certain if everything's going to be interchangeable. So if, like, let's say you had the CSX AC44 mod, and you had it, like, let's say a Norfolk Southern repaint that replaces it, I'm not 100% certain if it's going to pretend like, okay, so, like, let's say you have that, you want to throw that on the you want to use that on the Oakville sub. So we'll see if that actually works. I'm not 100% certain. And let's say you want to take this GP9 and have them trailing on the sand patch rate on a manifest, like they're heading somewhere for scrap or a new owner or whatever. I'm not 100% certain if that's going to be a thing. I'm hoping it'll be a thing, since they also have created a livery creator in the game as well, so we can actually have the option of creating our own liveries. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is actually going to be built in-game, kind of like Call of Duty, where you create skins for your guns, or if it's going to have to be like a third-party website or a third-party program that you have to download. But there is going to be a livery creator. So I'm not 100% certain if it's going to be like an actual second locomotive, or if it's going to kind of replace whatever locomotives that are in-game. Because right now, if you have, like, let's say a repaint mod in your game, it's going to be replacing a locomotive. So if, like, let's say someone made this GP9RM into, I don't know, let's say a fictional leasing scheme, so they block out that CN and they put like HLCX or whatever, that is going to be the main engine that pops up for all the scenarios that the GP9RM uses. So it basically kind of like replaces it. So same thing with that Norfolk Southern mod, or the BNSF mod that we've used in the past, or not Norfolk Southern, the Canadian National. It just replaces whatever locomotive that you have, or that's already in game, so it's not like a standalone mod. So I'm not quite certain if the livery creator is going to be like its own standalone thing. I feel like that would be cool if it would be, as well as we can interchange locomotives and freight cars into like different scenes, because right now all you have here are like your DTGX, and of course there's a mod to make them realistic. But it'd be kind of cool. And look at those wheels, though. Man, look at that. That looks weird. That's different. That's like, it's like a rain effect, even though it's not even raining. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, so like we have the, let's say we have like the CN autoracks. And then of course on the sand patch, all you have are CSX autoracks. So like have them be interchangeable. I feel like that would be kind of cool to have the variety instead of, you know, everything being the same railroad for the most part. And then as well on the Train Sim World 2 side of things, supposedly the HUD, or the heads up display, is going to be a lot clearer on instructions, so you'll get clear information on it. That's kind of what I want to see a little bit, because like this one's cool, but then with like the signaling, I know you can turn it off, I just always forget to do it. But like as you guys can see out the window, it says the next signal, which is an approach, and it's like 0.9 miles away and stuff like that. I understand that that can kind of, you know, vary away from the route, because you don't know what's past that signal. You don't know what anything is until you actually reach it. And yes, I know that can actually be you know, turned away or turned off and like put onto your, I believe it's the right hand side of your screen. So I want to see how kind of clear as it is. It'll be more clear on gradient and speed profiles as you drive. So right now the gradients are actually, you can kind of tell what gradient you're on. So right now, as you guys can see, it's to the left of that speedometer. It's that top one. It's got the arrow pointing up with the little triangle, and it says 0.1. That's right now we're on a 1% in grade. It looks like right now we're actually on an advanced approach signal. So CN 4117 advanced approach, Appleby, track number 3 out. It looks like we'll be on an approach coming into Bronte. I think that's the only two we're going, is Bronte and then, yeah, Oakville Yard. So, but yeah, so we have that. Apparently there's going to be more clarity to the onboard systems. Brake controls, power meter, and accelerator. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot more realistic as the aspect goes into starting a train. So maybe we'll actually see with the different dynamics, if we end up accelerating too much, that we actually pull the consist apart and like derail or whatever. Maybe give like the option of like defects on the train in scenarios, so like air loss or whatever. I feel like that would be kind of cool too. A new controller scheme will actually also give great choices on camera and driving modes, and allows easier access from the external camera mode to enter another vehicle or engine in your consist, all while the full physics and the simulation are still running. I feel like that would benefit awesome because as of right now, it's kind of smooth on your cameras, but then as you guys can see there like that, where it's like you're moving to your secondary view, you have that broad range and then it just zooms in like that. I feel like that's something that they can change on. And then just have different buttons for different camera views, because right now you're using your number 2 key, so you can see your front and then your back. So it's kind of cool. I wish you can have it like Train Simulator, so like your number 1 is going to be like your number 1. Number 2 is going to be like your outside view. Number 3 will be your, let's say your, whatchamacallit, not your outside view, but your rear view. And then this will be like camera number 4, and then that's pretty much it. So right now there's only like 3 different views you can do, is like this one, rear and front, and then that rear and front, and then of course your cab. And then of course if you have a secondary locomotive, of course you have to go into the second cab, walk in there on your own and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start reducing our throttle here. But another good thing about the whole TSW2 is that your collection will actually come with you. So whatever content that you have purchased for this game, you'll be able to play in Train Sim World 2, which is nice. Now, I'm not 100% certain if this is going to be an actual standalone game. So if you already have this one, you have to purchase it again. I haven't seen anything like regarding that. Or if it's going to be like you actually have to purchase it again. So if you have Train Sim World, you'll have to repurchase Train Sim World 2. I'm assuming you'll have to purchase it again. But that's not 100% certain. But if you do have to do it, I'm going to, of course, purchase it. And we are going to have a fun time with it, trying to differentiate the differences between that one and this one, and seeing how the graphics are. Because supposedly the graphics are supposed to be better as well. Seeing how different the physics are. Because right now, it's pretty easy to start and stop a train. Even if it's on a grade, it's pretty easy to do it. So, it looks like we've got a clear coming up in about 0.6 miles. Can't really tell what the signal is. But, yeah. So, anything that you've purchased for this game will come with you in the Train Sim World 2. So, you won't have to re-worry about purchasing those again, thank God. Now, also, from what I've heard for Train Sim World 2 is that the Sand Patch grade will also come to consoles. That is a rumor and a speculation. I'm not 100% certain how true that is, but that's what I have heard, is that your Train Sim World content will come to, or your Sand Patch grade will come to consoles. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what signal this is, if it's a clear. I'm assuming it's a clear, but I don't know. I've never actually had a signal post like that before. I'm assuming it's a clear. I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, there's also just going to be like other various changes, of course. You'll probably keep the same scenarios, and if they'll probably add some more scenarios for each route and stuff like that, so you have like a fresher, state, or even, if they keep the same scenarios, add some more, or completely redo all the scenarios, have new ones. I don't know how that's gonna play out. We'll just kind of have to see whenever it comes out for the most part. But one thing though is that this game will actually, or not this game, but Train Sim World 2 will actually have track IR and rail driver support. Now, one thing I have noticed with track IR in Train Sim 2020 is that it's very, very shoddy. And that is only because whenever you try to move your head will stay down like this towards the throttle. And you barely can't move it up or anything. I mean, I've been having issues with track IR for myself recently. And I'm not quite sure if that's just what that is or whatever. But it will have track IR and it will have rail driver support. I'm really excited about that because I need to get my old rail driver back up and running again. Because I feel like it'd be a lot easier when I get back in the streaming to do all that. And looks like we're coming up on a 30 here. So let's go and start slowing down so we can get to that 30. But yeah, so that'll be kind of cool. That's cool that rail driver support is going to be a thing. Let's just go ahead and initial reduction, release that brake. There we go. And we are on an approach. Or advanced approach. But yeah, I'm not 100% certain about the state of mods for the game. Like, we have a couple different repaint mods and stuff like that for this game right now. I'm not quite sure if they will be compatible with Train Sim World 2. I honestly don't see why they wouldn't be, because all it is just replacing. But if and when I find out how to add mods into the game, I will be doing a video of like how-to video of how to add mods and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm not quite sure about mods in the game for the most part. But here we are on an advanced approach. I thought I saw a 30 sign. Thought a 30 would be coming up. I don't know. We'll find out here in a second, I guess. But yeah, and then of course there's probably going to be like various bug fixes that this game had that they'll probably end up fixing in Train Sim World 2. I'm very excited about it. I already have it in my wish list, so I'll definitely be picking it up on that same day. And if anything, I'll have a video of it either that day or the day after. So depending on my work schedule and whatnot. So I'm very excited about it. I really am. But yeah, so here we are in the GP9RM. Finally getting around to being in the Oakville sub. It has been a minute since we've actually been in the Oakville sub. So I actually have to get up, turn the wipers on. Got it. But it has been a minute since I've actually been in the Oakville sub. I believe when it came out, I was doing like the introductions and stuff. And now we're actually kind of getting into the nitty gritty of it. And I gotta say, these GP9s look fantastic. Always been a favorite of these, except the ones I've seen were always like high nose locomotives. So I've always been a bit of favorite of mine. As we come in here, got 2 miles left to get into Oakville. And we will do just that. Looks like we're on that 30 right now, so let's go ahead and slow down so we don't get ourselves an emergency brake application. Alright, so here we are coming into Oakville Yard. We're kind of speeding here a little bit. One thing I did find out, though, is that we were actually wrong with our class lights. So we are needing the green ones instead of the white ones. So the white ones are basically a extra train that is not scheduled to basically run that day, so it's kind of like a local or like a yard transfer if one's needed. So it's basically an extra if one's not running that day. Today, what we're running as is a first train out of maybe 2 or 3 heading to Toronto. So we have some other trains behind us following, I believe. I'm not quite sure, unless we're just picking up cars here. But it said we are the first service of 2 or first service to Toronto or whatever. So we are going to have the green class lights on. And then the red just kind of signifies that it's the end of train. So which means there always has to be a certain light at the end of each train. Or a flag, or like a red flag. Or like passenger trains have the 2 red marker lights. Freight trains, if they have a locomotive, will have the headlight on dimmed. And or if they have marker lights like Canadian National did, they'll have those. And or EOT device which flashes a red light. So it just kind of signifies that it's the end of the train for the most part. But we didn't have to use the alerter whatsoever. Gauge lights, we can just dim them. I'm not worried about it. But we are coming to a stop here in Oakville Yard 8, which I don't see where that would be at. Let's see. Coming to a stop in about 0.7, so I'm assuming that we're on the proper track. I don't know though. But if you guys do take a look over there, there are some CSX, and we looks like we have a female conductor. Nice. We do have some CSX cars over here, like coil cars and box cars, and then CN mixed in with CSX. So I don't know if that's something that we'd be able to do ourselves, but I know that that's something that is happening here. And there's a lot more CSX than there is CN, I've noticed over here. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not. So let's go ahead and get back to our seat here. But we can right now go ahead and turn those class lights off because we don't actually need them. Nope, we don't need the independent brake either. Turn them off. Bail U. We can turn off our ditch lights as well. Step lights we don't need. It's daytime. We don't need any of those, and we can set our headlight to dim as well. So about 930 yards left to go. But yeah, let me know if you guys are going to be picking up Train Sim World 2. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think of the game, what you guys are looking to actually see in the game as well. I know I'm super excited for it. I know hopefully you guys are too. Be a lot more Train Simulator content coming to the channel as well via this game, Train Sim World 2, and Train Sim 2020. Maybe some other games. We'll see if I can get the hang of them a little bit. But it looks like I have a service there with the GP38-2 coming towards us. Looks like our speed is -1. Looks like I got, yeah, 2 GP38-2s hauling a couple tank cars. So I don't know if that's coming for us and we're supposed to couple those onto us. I don't know. But we got about 700 yards left to go before we end up having to stop our train here. There's no marker or location or anything for me to, you know, where to stop it at. So I'm not quite sure where to actually stop it at. But there are those 2 GP38-2s which we'll use here shortly. Alright, so we have less than 100 yards right now. Got about 75 till we hit our stop. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting the brake here. So I feel like it's going to be right before that switch over here. And see if maybe right here will work. No? Okay. Keep going. Keep going. So we have to go that full 33 it looks like. I'm wondering if, can I actually set this handbrake? I can. Cool. Got some fuses in here that we can turn off and on. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's a panel light. That's nice. Well, that's why, because the alerter was off. Well, I didn't realize that I had to turn those on manually. That's stupid. Everything else is on. That's dumb. Alright, come on. Speed it up a little bit more. Look at that GP9RM though. That thing looks nice as hell. So we got about 4 yards to go and we can stop right here. Cool. That was it. We're done. Ended up getting 2,940 points on that. We are level 11, level 3 coming up maybe. Yeah, level 3 on the Oakville sub and level 2 on the GP9. We got an achievement, Oakville subdivision starting out. And that's going to go and do it for this one. Look at that. We also got a gold medal. Nice. But that's going to go and do it for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hit the like button if you did. Make sure you guys also hit that subscribe button with the bell icon. And I'll catch you guys here on the next video. Peace.